So for this scenario, we will be splinting a lower extremity, and so I'll ask the person where their fracture is, and it will be right there. So now you can hold it there for now. You can hold it in your leg. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull out the handmade splint. You can show it if you want. The handmade splint, and I've got some pillowcases here, as these are the only materials I really have to work with. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in and I'm going to put some padding. Perfect. That should be good. Okay, so for the sake of this, I'm going to come in, and prior to doing this, someone will be stabilizing the fracture site. So if the fracture is right here, I will have someone holding the joint below and holding above the fracture site. That way we know that it's not moving at all. And I'd have someone doing that for me. And prior to splinting, I'm going to ask them if they can close their eyes. And what toe am I touching? Say it.
The one right next to the big toe.
Okay, good. And then I'm going to check cap refill of the big toe. Cap refill is good. And then can you wiggle your toes a little bit? Yeah, perfect. Okay, so for this, now what I'm going to do is I am going to take over for the person holding above and below the fracture site, and I'm going to get them to put their hand underneath the knee and by the ankle, and what we're going to do is they're going to lift it like this while maintaining it. And so while they lift it, we're going to say hypothetically they're lifting it right now. And we're going to slide this splint in, okay, and then I will switch off with them again, take my hands from here to go underneath, and I'll hold down here, and they'll come and they'll stabilize once again while I do all of this. And so this homemade splint will sit just like this. And for tying the splint, we have a bunch of shoelaces, as this is all we could find. Okay, that looks really small. That will probably work there. Okay, slide it underneath. And so this way it is stabilizing the joint below and the joint above. So I'll come here and to this side. I don't want to make this too tight because it's shoelaces, but I'm going to double it around when I knot it, and then I'm going to use the board to help tighten, and then that way it doesn't come undone. And again, I'm making sure that I'm tying away from the fracture site, making sure that this is tight enough that it's not going to move above the joint. Now for this next one. And you never want to tie anything on the joint either, so we're going to come to this spot. And you could place padding here as well. I'm going to double put that on there. Using the splint, we're going to help it tighten. We're going to make sure that that's tight enough. And then we could tuck it in as well. I'll come here, and the fracture site again is once right there. So I'm gonna tie above and below that fracture site. keeping it tight. Making sure that's good. Okay, and now for the little bit of a difficult with the shoelace. This will be like that. Ideally, it would stay like this. And what we're going to do is, fracture site again is right here. Come right underneath the fracture site, loop it into a figure 8. I could tie it in the back, but because the front here is a little bit loose, just due to the cardboard, I'm gonna come to the front as I have enough of the space as well. And we'll tighten it on the board. Perfect. And again, while the joint is all stabilized, I'm gonna make sure that the ankle doesn't move very well. The knee joint is, the splint is covering the knee joint and it's tied above and below. What I'm going to do is I'm gonna ask them to close their eyes. What toe am I touching?
Big toe.
Big toe, okay. I'm gonna check cap refill. Cap refill looks good, and I'll get them to wiggle their toes again. Perfect. And you can shut